I'll read. So I'm going to give you an update on the first few days, or first probably 4 or 5 days now, of bet247pro. As you remember last week, I've done a video just to kick it off, see if anybody wanted to join in. So I've done the first few days now. If you've been following the Discord server, I probably recommend going on there because I'm trying to do daily updates of all the different bits and bobs I'm doing. Don't always get time to do it, but most of the time I do. Have a look on there. But what you'll see is you'll see these two services. Don't know where these dates have come from because when it initially set up, it was just a bet247 football and a bet247 horse. And obviously, for obvious reasons, I've got on a lot more. There's been a lot more horse bets than football. There's not been much football recently. So I'm going to go into the horses. We did get off to a bad start, so it recommended a minimum of £1 bet for the football and a minimum of £10 bet for the horses. And I wasn't sure why that was, but I found out quite quickly on the first day that when it hadn't placed any bets, I got back in about 4ish, and there were no bets there because I'd set the horses up to be £1. But the actual horse bets, I hadn't realised, I hadn't put two and two together and come up with 4. I hadn't realised that they were lay bets, and so it was betting £10 liability, which is the minimum. £10 liability is the minimum you can do on Betfair Exchange. So when I was trying to place a pound bet, they would have just been getting rejected or not being placed at all. So if I click on that one, then we'll have a little look. So you can see here what it does is it brings up all the bets for the default to today. Well, there's none for today, so I'm just going to go in here and do the last 7 days, which covers everything I've done. So you can see here on the 7th I started this. We only had 5 bets because the first bet was only placed at 25 to 5. Now, the reason for that, like I say, is I didn't have a £10 stake on there, which you can see now I have. Got £10 up in here. So that's the minimum you can use, £10. You can use whatever you want. You could use £100 if you wanted to, and it would just scale this up to your bet sizes. So whatever it's matched there, that's your stake. So basically what's doing there is it's matching £3.39 and the odds are £3.95. So if you lost, your profit would be -10, which is exactly what that is there. So in typical Mr. Drifter fashion, I got it sorted out, changed this to 10, and then the first 2 races, these horses both won. So basically when the horses win, you lose. So you can see we've lost £10 there and £10 there. So I was off to an absolutely amazing start of -20 quid in the first 2 races. It did pick up a little bit, but you can see by the end of the 7th, which was the first day, we were £14.22 down. So we won the next 3. So basically, there's a good. Right. So the system it uses it did use Telegram to set it up, but I don't find the Telegram channel to be very good at all. There's no information on there. There's no updates or anything like that. All the Telegram, the only kind of posts I've seen on the Telegram channel is the people joining. So you'll see when somebody joins, and the admin tells them how to set it up and stuff in here. Which isn't useful really. I'm not really too interested in that. But what I have found is they've got a Twitter account, and if you log on the Twitter account, they do provide pretty good daily updates on there. And some of those updates are telling people or members that the sort of statistics going back to when they started in November last year. They look at winning. I mean, they have won 80% of bets and lost 20%. So with that in mind, then when you lose the 1 in 5. So that's basically saying we win 4 out of 5 and lose 1 out of 5. But when you do lose that 1 out of 5, you're losing 10 quid. And then you can see here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 winners there, but they don't even add up to 10 quid. They add up to about 8. Looking at that, I'd say you probably need to win probably 5 out of 6 to be profitable. I think they were quite low because I think it has done better recently on those stats that I've just given there. Anyhow, so at the end of day 1, we were £14.22 down. So moving on to day 2, which was the 8th, we ended up on £32 down. We lost another 1, 2, 3. We lost 4 bets on the 8th and won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is only 50. Yeah, we won 4. We lost 4 and won 8, which is nowhere near 80%. So again, we had a losing day there. And by the end of the third day, I was thinking, this isn't going well at all. So if I go down to the end of the 9th, we were £58 down. So on average, we'd lost nearly £20 a day. And on the 9th, we actually had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 bets. And we'd lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'd lost 5 out of 14. And I was thinking at this point, this isn't going very well. But I did have a look at the Twitter update for that evening. And the admin was saying, like, it's been a really bad run. All they can do is apologise for any newcomers, which typically was me. And that, based on their history, they are expecting to turn around and pick up. And apparently what they do, and I didn't quite get it, I did get it at the time when I read it, but I can't quite remember it, is what I should be phrasing that. Something along the lines of they up the stake points from 1 point to 1.5 points. So instead of me placing £10, it'll start placing 15. And at that point, I thought I had to change it to 15, but I'd read it wrong, which was totally my fault. So the first bet on the next day, I changed it to 15 quid stakes instead of 10 to try and recover. But I didn't realise I was meant to leave the stake the same at 10, and then they up the points from 1 to 1.5. So even when you're saying you're betting 10 quid, it can go up to 15, but apparently 1.5 is a maximum they'll go to do a recovery strategy, which did actually work, even though I got on that first race at 15 quid. That should have only been 10, so I made a little bit more on that because that one did actually win. Well, the horse lost, so I won. So you can see the first bet of the day went from minus 58 quid down to minus 42. But anyway, on the 10th then, if I move down to the bottom of the 10th, 10th was Saturday, so there's quite a few bets still going. Right, so there's the 11th there. So by the end of the 10th then, we were on minus 17 quid, so it had really picked up quite a lot, because remember the day before, we ended on minus 58. So we'd made about 40 quid on the Saturday. So as you can see, we had on the Saturday, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 bets. And we lost 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure why that was £11.44. I don't know if it was rectifying itself from the 15, but it's a bit odd, the 11.44. Haven't sat and worked that out. Should either be 10 or 15, really. We had 3 lapsed bets as well, which obviously didn't get matched when we put the lay bet in. Didn't get matched just before the off. So yeah, so it was a lot better because we had 24 bets and we only lost 3, which is a lot better. You can see winning streak, you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is what you're looking for, really much longer winning streaks, where the actual horse lane doesn't win the race. So after Saturday, I was feeling a bit more comfortable with it because I'd got back down to minus 17, which was good in this respect that I lost the first 2 races, so I was minus £20 down after the first 2 races on the Wednesday. So actually clawing back into that minus 20 quid. So heading on to Sunday then, bearing in mind it's Monday today, we've only got Sunday left on here. So if I move down this list a bit more, Sunday we didn't get on many races at all. Obviously less races on a Sunday anyway. But you can see there, we only got on 6. And there's a 6 there. It's oddly as well, the first one was 3 o'clock. I'm not sure why that was. Because I think the racing started about 1:30, 1:35. Anyhow, we went from minus 17 to minus 14, so we had about a £3 profit there. We had 1 loser and 5 winners for £3 profit. So that's where I'm thinking, right, okay, so I think we'll probably need to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 we won. We end up with £3 profit. I think if we'd lost one, well, if we'd lost 4 out of 5, I think we would end up probably about break even. So I think it needs to be slightly higher than 80%. Although I might be proven wrong on the long term, but short term, I'm thinking we need to win 5 out of 6 rather than 4 out of 5. So as it stands, heading into Monday's cards, then Monday's racing, we're £14.28 down, which is a lot better than we were at the end of play on Friday, which was minus £58 up here. As you can see on Saturday, we got that down to the lowest. That was about £8 there, £8.92 there. On actually £5.65 on Sunday until we hit that last one, which would have been a lot better. So it's that loss there that's brought us back down to the minus 15, minus 14 quid mark. Would have been a lot nicer if that one hadn't have come in and won at the horse there. So initial impressions of, it's been a game of two halves again. Initial impressions of this, I was thinking I'm not even going to last the month's free trial here. But then after the last couple of days, it has now picked up a bit. So still sitting on the fence on this one. Moving forward, I'm a bit more optimistic than I was. It's probably the better way of it, like being poor to start with and then picking up, rather than being good to start with and then taking a big dip. Because it's leaving me sort of optimistic for it going forward. But could do without a bad run like we had at the start again, because if we have another bad run like that, it's just going to go into massive negative. As you can see, the downside is I'm still trying to get this onto a positive number. It hasn't been positive since I started. So yeah, I'll be doing more video updates on this, and I'll be updating the Discord server with the results. As you can see on here, you can do different filters and stuff here. So if I went by month, you can see we're minus £14 down for June. If I do this by day, it should show you the totals for each day. So there you can see 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. We've got minus £14, minus 32, minus 58, minus 17, minus 14. And there's your profit there for each day. So you can see the first 3 days were absolutely atrocious. Saturday was really good. And Sunday, I'd say, was acceptable considering there was only 6 bets. I do really like this Cloud Bet bot. I can't find many sort of things that work on it though. I could do with find a few more. But obviously I'm going to go with bet247pro for the minute, and then we'll look for more later on. I really like the idea of it. It's set and forget. You can just come in every night and have a look. You don't even need to have a PC run or anything like that. It all runs in the cloud. Whole service is cloud-based. This is just a browser window in Google Chrome. You just make sure that's on active on your system, on your portal, and then it just runs the bets for you. You don't need any VPS. You don't need any sort of PC or laptop running while, like you do on Each Way Sniper. It's spot on in that respect. I just need to find something that works on it and has a winning formula. Hopefully this will be it. But to conclude, the jury's out at the moment until the next update. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers now. Bye.